Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to get into something maybe a little unexpected. Zucchini.
Yep, specifically the Riziki F1 variety. We've been looking through some product info sheets.
Right, the kind of stuff growers would look at. And our mission today is basically to pull out the key bits about this Riziki F1. Useful stuff, whether you're just curious, have a garden, or maybe even farm this kind of thing.
Exactly. Think of it as your quick guide to what makes this one special or well, potentially special.
Okay, so let's start there. What is the Riziki F1?
So the basics are, it's a medium dark green zucchini, and importantly, it's an F1 hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay, what does that really signal in the world of squash?
Good question. Hybrid means breeders took two specific parent plants and crossed them. The goal is usually to get the best traits from both parents into one plant.
Oh, okay, so like aiming for improved performance.
Yeah, often things like better yield, more vigor, or disease resistance, kind of like targeted breeding.
Gotcha. And the info says this one is easy to grow and maybe even year-round production. That sounds ambitious for zucchini.
It does, yeah. Suggests it's pretty adaptable. And another big point is its maturity. It's apparently very early.
How early are we talking?
Like 40 to 45 days from planting to first harvest.
Wow, okay. That is fast. Less than 2 months.
Right. That's, potentially a whole extra harvest cycle in some climates. Could be a big deal for growers needing quick returns.
Makes sense. The sheets also mention the plant itself. Vigorous, open, upright habit. And fewer spines.
Yeah, the fewer spines thing definitely catches the eye. Makes handling and harvesting, let's say, less hazardous.
I'll bet. And what about this open habit? Why mention that?
Well, an open plant structure usually means better air can circulate through the leaves and more sunlight gets in.
Okay.
Which can help cut down on, fungal diseases.
Yeah.
And maybe helps the fruit develop more evenly, too. Seems it's good for open field growing.
Right. Okay, let's talk about the actual zucchini fruit. What are the specs there?
They're described as medium to dark green, straight, glossy, with some lighter green spots. Pretty uniform cylindrical shape.
And size-wise. Around 16 centimeters long, weighing about 150 to 180 grams each. The notes emphasize very good fruit quality.
What does very good quality typically mean in this context? Is it just looks?
It's usually a mix. Consistent size and shape, yeah, good color, the glossiness, but also things like firmness, good texture, maybe even a decent shelf life.
Yeah.
Stuff that matters for selling it and, not having it spoil quickly.
Good point. And the big one for growers, yield. How does it stack up?
The potential yield is listed as quite high, 7 to 9 tons per acre.
Whoa, that's a lot of zucchini off 1 acre.
It really is. That kind of number definitely gets attention. And part of achieving that yield likely comes down to its disease resistance.
Ah, okay. What's it resistant to?
It shows intermediate resistance to zucchini yellow mosaic virus, ZYMV, and also powdery mildew. Plus, the info mentions a very good virus resistance package overall.
Intermediate resistance. So not immune, but it can handle it better. Exactly. It can slow down the disease, maybe not get hit as hard. And that broader virus resistance package suggests it has some level of protection against other common viruses, too.
And how does that connect to the harvest?
Well, healthier plants generally keep producing fruit for a longer time. So good disease resistance often means a longer harvest period.
Right. So if we sum up the benefits, it sounds like potentially more zucchini overall, maybe more of the fruit is good enough to sell, and you can pick for longer.
That's a pretty good summary, yeah. Higher yields, better pack out, longer harvest window. That seems to be the pitch.
Okay, I want to circle back to something. This combo of maturing super early and the potential for year-round growing. Yeah. What does that actually mean for, say, shoppers or the market?
It could mean potentially a more steady supply of zucchini, less of those seasonal gaps or price spikes, maybe.
More consistency.
Yeah, and for growers in places with the right climate, it might make multiple plantings in a year more feasible, just boosting overall production.
And the disease resistance and longer harvest. How much does that help with just having a reliable crop, reducing waste?
It's pretty significant. I mean, diseases can wipe out a crop or drastically cut yields, so resistance means less risk for the farmer.
Right.
And being able to harvest over a longer period, you're maybe less likely to lose fruit because it all gets ready at once and you can't pick it fast enough, or because the plants just give up early due to disease. That virus resistance is especially key. Viruses are tough to deal with once they're in.
So wrapping up the key features, Riziki F1 seems positioned as like an efficient producer. Fast, high-yielding, decent quality fruit, and it hangs in there longer thanks to disease resistance.
That captures it well. It's bred for performance and resilience, it seems.
Okay, so final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Given all these traits, the speed, the yield, the hardiness, what kind of difference could hybrid like Riziki F1 make for smaller farms or even for food security, especially in places dealing with tricky climates or lots of plant diseases?
That's a really interesting question to ponder.
And maybe think about what else, beyond just the seed variety, really goes into growing squash successfully. It can't just be the genetics.
Absolutely not. Things like soil quality, water management, dealing with pests not covered by the resistance, getting the produce to market. There's a whole system. These hybrid seeds can be a powerful tool, no doubt, especially in tough spots, but they're still just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.